Hi, you guys. Um, I just want to say that one day, I was just sitting, right? And the Holy Spirit told me that, people, the government, they're going to start putting diseases in different meats. So, like your chicken, your turkey, your beef, and of course, pork. I remember that I think I was reading this article, or I had saw it on YouTube, either one. But the guy, he works at this meat department, and he says that when he sees cancer in pork, he has to cut. He cuts that cancer. He cuts the piece where it was cancer in the pork, throw it in the trash, and he still sells that piece of pork that had cancer in it. And that piece of pork that had cancer in it, just because you cut it out doesn't mean that it's safe to eat. You need to throw the whole piece out in the trash. And plus, you shouldn't be eating pork anyway, because the Bible tells us that that's an unclean meat to eat. But if God is calling you to become vegetarian, I would say to become vegetarian. Be obedient to God. And definitely, if you're having trouble with becoming vegetarian, it's very hard, but I would say to just keep praying that God gives you strength and the ability to, you know, become vegetarian. And I was reading this other article, and they were saying that being vegetarian, I'm not saying vegan. Vegetarian and vegan are two different things. If you're vegetarian, you don't eat meat, but you still eat eggs and fish and cheese and things like that. When you're vegan, you don't eat any dairy or anything like that. But if he's calling you to be vegan or vegetarian, I would say to listen to him, because he put that the Holy Spirit told me that the government is going to start putting diseases in meats. And we just had this flu epidemic that killed so many people, and that came from getting the flu shot. When you get the flu shot, the disease is already in your body. So, in these last days, I would say to definitely, if you hear God telling you that, to definitely be obedient to God. And yeah, and I wanted to read you something too. This article, and they were saying that, when you're vegetarian or vegan, you don't get um it. You have more anxiety, things like that. That only happens when you're not getting enough nutrients, when you're not getting enough protein. So since you're not getting meat, actually, even Dr. Sebi, and this man, they killed him because he was healing people of cancer, high blood pressure, and everything through nutrients, through things that you grow in the ground, because God put everything that we need on earth. But yeah, so they killed him because of, all the truth that he was saying. But actually, broccoli, there's so many different vegetables that have more protein than poultry in it. So when you're becoming vegetarian or vegan, you have to make sure you're getting the proper nutrients so that you won't get anxiety and things like that. Because things like that can happen, but it's very unlikely. And that things like that only happen when you're not getting enough nutrients. Because I remember I was being vegetarian, and I didn't realize that I wasn't getting enough protein. So you need to make sure that you're getting enough protein, because things like that can happen, and you'll crave meat more, and then you'll crave carbs more. But make sure you're getting the proper amount of vegetables and fruit and nuts, things like that. But yeah, God, the Holy Spirit told me that the government will be putting diseases in different meats, and we're getting closer to the end times, and who knows what they're doing to these animals and whatever crazy things that they're doing. So they could be even mixing human meat with meat. Never can trust these supermarkets. And even though the Bible, does say unclean and clean meats to eat, so he says that we can eat chicken and turkey, things like that. But if he's calling you to become vegetarian, then just listen to him. But yeah, the supermarket meats, yeah, they're not healthy at all. if you want to eat chicken or turkey, I would say to raise your own chicken and turkeys, or go to your local meat store. But even those aren't really safe. But if God is calling you to become vegetarian, I would listen to him. But I would say if you're listening to this video, I would say to stop eating meat, because the government, they're going to start putting diseases in meats. But God bless everyone, and yeah, thanks.